Indigenous Australians are 5 times more likely to experience mental illness than the rest of the population, a problem often exacerbated by their reluctance to seek help. Now, a new program's been developed to tackle mental health issues through song. Queensland's Aboriginal and Islander Health Council has set up 5 community choirs to attack the symptoms of mental illness and bring sufferers into contact with health professionals. The scheme has been given a helping hand by Indigenous country and western star Roger Knox, who himself overcame crippling depression and an addiction to painkillers. Kieran McKechnie reports.
I'm a part of this land, my soul is a son, nature is my mother, I am Mother Nature's son.
In my culture, music is a form of healing. When there's a gathering, there's a ceremony, there's a ritual, that song and dance, learning and healing.
I am what I am Aboriginal. I am from the never, never.
Roger Knox knows only too well about the healing power of music.
Dreaming is my creation.
The Aboriginal country and western singer had a string of hits in the 1980s, which earned him the nickname Black Elvis.
I left my youth behind me in all the places I have been.
But his career was almost cut short when, on tour in remote Australia, his plane crashed over the Gibson Desert. Everyone on board walked away unharmed. But in a bizarre twist, the plane that came to rescue them then went down too. This time, a band member was killed and Roger Knox suffered horrific injuries.
I had first, second and third degree burns to 98% of my body. And I was in intensive care for 2 months.
He plunged into severe depression and formed an addiction to prescribed painkillers.
There were times when I felt that, I didn't want to continue on. I just didn't think I could do anything because I couldn't use my hand or my back, so much pain, couldn't walk.
He credits his great aunt with bringing him out of despair, using bush medicine and song.
I went there to visit my auntie back home, and I was in a wheelchair. 3 weeks there, I walked away from there. My mind was good. I wanted to do more then. And even from that point, I said I would like to help as many of my people as I can. No.
30 years on, Roger Knox is sticking to that pledge.
Everybody, oh Mary, don't you eat no more.
He's formed an Indigenous choir in his hometown of Warwick, west of Brisbane, to help others battle their demons.
Oh Mary, don't you eat.
The choir is one of a handful in southeast Queensland set up to tackle the prevalence of mental illness amongst Indigenous Australians.
So it's usually around 5 times the normal rate for non-Indigenous communities. So it is fairly significant for our people around the place.
Selwyn Button says often Aboriginal people are reluctant to speak to counsellors about mental illness, but the choirs are an informal but effective way to seek help.
So how can we combat those sorts of things? By bringing you into some sort of support mechanism that's going to uplift your spirit through singing, and also it starts to connect you with health professionals within your local community.
Aboriginal elder Coral Brown is one of those who didn't want to see a therapist for her depression.
It's talking to a stranger, it is hard to try and to tell them what your problem is and why you're in this depression. So, yeah, I only went the once and that was it.
But since joining the choir a couple of months ago, she says her illness is under control.
Beautiful. This is helping me a lot, coming and joining up with people and singing. So I feel really well now.
For teenager Ranetta Baira, just being part of the group has boosted her self-esteem.
Like where I come from is just a little community up north, and it's just all drugs and alcohol, and it's just a bad place to live in. Like, you can't really trust no one, and I was just ashamed coming down here coming to work, and singing's been a good, positive outcome for me.
Roger Knox has no doubt the program is helping his fellow choir mates. He hasn't asked them. He says he doesn't need to.
They don't tell me nothing. I see it. I see it in their faces. I can see that brightness. I can see that love. I can see that wantingness, to keep going. Yes, that's what I see.
Here we go. Cool.